I'm back talking about ethics and morality in relation to evolution, Nietzsche, Deleuze and Guattari and so on. I had to stop because the dogs were about there. I think, and the dog that was coming, so I put them on the lead for a bit. Now they're off again. As am I indeed. Okay, so where am I up to with this? Okay, so the atheist grounding for ethics and some sort of moral code tends to lean on natural selection and finds examples in the natural world of altruistic behaviour amongst bonobo chimps or whatever, that kind of thing. I think what's potentially absent from the atheist position, and I'm speaking as an atheist myself, so I'm not trying to make an argument against it particularly, I'm just trying to spot the holes in the argument. One of the potential difficulties is to do with what I think is much a medieval idea, in a sense an idea that I think Nietzsche would probably argue against, or was sort of arguing against, a medieval idea to do with the great chain of being, kind of. In the great chain of being, there's a concept that humans, whilst we may be specially chosen by God or created in His image or something like that, we exist on a kind of scale of exaltedness. And below us are, sure enough, bonobo chimps and other sorts of animals. But above us, there are arranged whole hierarchies of cherubim and seraphim and angels and archangels, leading right the way up to God Himself at the top of the pyramid. And particularly those entities which are posited as just a bit above ourselves, the angelic beings, if you like, that John Dee, there's a bit in alchemy, the angelic beings, which is just a little bit above ourselves, that they're particularly significant, I think, in that, because the existence, even though it's completely fictitious, of these beings, in which it provides a kind of balance, I guess, or provides a kind of location for what it is to be human, as somewhere between animals and angels. To the extent that animals have morals and ethics, which I think is actually to no extent at all, I think they just have imminent behaviours, but to the extent that they do, I don't think there are many animal moralities we would care to share in. Even bonobo chimps, who are very nice to other members of the same group, are vicious to outsiders. And even animals who cooperate in the most self-sacrificing way, like ants and termites, for example, actually probably sacrifice themselves too readily for my comfort, certainly. I think probably most of the people's. I can't think there's any animal that we could particularly look to for a good example of morality. Nor should we indeed. So where do we look for our examples of morality? Well, I guess we could look to other humans. But one of the things that the great chain of being provides in the concept of the angelic is that it makes a personification out of all that's good. This is something that Plato talks about as well, I think. It makes a kind of personification of all that is good and true, which may be mobile over time. It may not be something that stays consistent. We may update that as time goes on. But it does provide a kind of aspirational goal. It provides a sense of how we might operate. And to the extent that we should embrace, in the spirit of Deleuze and Guattari and in the spirit of Nietzsche, we should embrace more of existence than that which is simply human, all too human. We could perhaps try in that schema to embrace not only that which is animal, but also that which is angelic. So just to replay the criticism, the atheist criticism against theologically based ethics. Theologically based ethics, I suggest, is not based entirely on fear of the rod and hope for divine reward, but it is also based upon an aspirational embracing of the angelic, a genuine trying to be part of that, or to allow the angel to be part of oneself, or be part of the angel. And that is absolutely missing from kind of atheist morality and atheist ethics, of necessity, because of course there are no things as angels. Perhaps we need to invent imaginary angels. If we're trying to be human, all too human, or we're trying to avoid that, and the perils of too tightly delimiting ourselves to just the human, we should see the animal in ourselves, but also embrace some fictional angels at the same time. Robbie Williams was right.